Alright guys, what's up? This is going to be part 2 of me working on the built motor. I get the timing done, I get the balance shaft delete completely done with it. I'm sorry I didn't film putting in the plugs, I kind of forgot and it was kind of late and I was getting it done. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy. Hope this helps some people. Maybe you've been looking into getting the kit. It's not really a how-to or anything. It's just me fucking around on my own build. And then me also tearing apart a little bit of my old motor, getting the intake manifold off, the transmission off, and yeah, so hope y'all enjoy it, but this is part 2. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking off my oil cooler. So technically I'm doing an oil cooler delete. I'm going to show you how to do that. I got a sandwich plate I'm going to be putting on so I can eventually run an aftermarket oil cooler, my fault, and I can also tap in there to read oil pressure. So there's 4 places in the sandwich to run lines to where you can draw oil pressure or run an aftermarket cooler and things like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Now here is going to be a 30 millimeter, or maybe it's a 29. I don't have a 29. 30 fits really good on it though. We're going to bust that loose and then get these 2 hoses off. Alright guys, so I got the oil cooler off. So what I'm going to do with this line, I'm basically just going to bend it and loop it just like that. Boom. That way you don't have to have 2 holes plugged and coolant still goes through places instead of just having all these blocks. So, and then looking at where the knock sensor would go, it looks like it's already blocked off way back there, so I don't think I'm going to have to put the plug in there. It's kind of interesting. I've never really looked into where the knock sensor goes, so I'm not sure if oil or whatever runs through it, but it doesn't even look like I'll have to put anything in there. So yeah, so I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to put this hose on here so it doesn't leak coolant, and then I'm going to put on my B series part, which I'll show y'all which thread's on there so my sandwich plate can go on top of that. Alright guys, so what I did is I took off that one that I showed y'all and I flipped it. So I took it out from here and flipped it, and then I cut this much off of this side over here, which curved more, and about this much off of here because it was kinking. So this gets it nice and short and still allows coolant to flow, plus it keeps it nice and tight so it's not a bunch of coolant lines running back there that look all weird and long. So this is a nice little fit right here, both of them lined up, so we're going to send it like that. So the only thing I need to find a plug for is going to be, still got to tighten this 12 millimeter bolt. Sorry about that guys. Only thing I'm going to find a plug for is that one right there, which is for the heater core, and obviously right here. Like I said, I might try to find like a little cap, like a metal cap or something, and put JB Weld on the inside of it, clean up this real good and put it on there, and hopefully that will seal it up. If not, I'll ask around and see how other people seal theirs up. But yeah, here's here. Let me go ahead and clean up this surface just a little bit better, and you know, just a nice little grit of sandpaper, probably like 1,000 to 1,500, just to get all this stuff off. But yeah, go ahead and clean that up so I can go ahead and put on my little oil sandwich plate, and I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Alright guys, and here is the part number for the B series part you need. I'll show you exactly what it is. I'll try to do this one-handed. So basically, it's just this thread, and the fat end goes in. So, like, even if you didn't want to do the sandwich plate like I'm doing, now with this B series part right here, you could just put your oil filter on. So obviously you tighten it down, and look just like this, like I was saying. Sorry for the really shitty camera guys, but if you wanted to, just boom, oil cooler delete like that. But I'm gonna throw a sandwich plate on. My daughter's crying for me, so I'm gonna continue this in a bit. But here's the sandwich plate, cheap glow shift one, like 30 bucks. We're gonna see how well it works. Alright guys, here it is. So we got all these hooked up. Hopefully it won't leak oil. We'll see how it does. If not, I'll put the factory one back on there, just leave it off and put this on here. Like I said, this is cool because it leaves ports for a sensor, and then I can also run an aftermarket oil cooler if I'd like. So that's what's cool. I think this thing was around like 30 bucks or so. Not hard, and I want to say the B series part that you need is like another 8 bucks. So for around like, I guess $40, say roughly, you can have your oil cooler deleted, which is also one less coolant line to leak. Because it knocks down just this one. And a lot of engine builders and stuff say you don't really need the engine or the oil cooler from the factory. A lot of them recommend the aftermarket ones, so we'll see. But yeah, also what I found when I'm kind of looking at this is it looks like there's something broken off right here, and it looks like it's possibly a vacuum line, so I'm probably going to have Ruben just weld that shut real quick or tack it or something. I have to take off the manifold anyway because they just have a normal gasket on there. Like I said, I'm going to run the thermal one. So from Speed Factory, which is up there on top of the toolbox. But I think this is all I needed in this position for. I kind of have it in the forward position so I could reach back here. Yeah, so now I'm going to put it back upright so I can continue with this. I got to go get JB Weld from the store. My little girl finally stopped crying. I'm hoping she fell asleep. But, and then I still gotta do all the timing and stuff on this one. So, and I have to get off my half shaft and transmission and all that, obviously, too. So, still quite a bit of work to do. Like I said, I've been working really, honestly, kind of slow. I've also been distracted and had a million other things to do around the house. And it's been really hot here. But, yeah. And this is, I was kind of excited about this because I was kind of curious or not if the AEM fuel pressure regulator was going to fit on the Golden Eagle fuel rail. Well, it does. So that's also nice to know. But yeah, it's coming along great, guys. Hopefully this thing will be put in soon and purring like a kitten in no time. Alright, I got the intake off. This gasket, which was on there, I really thought it was a copper gasket, but looking at it, there's like some chips and stuff. It looks like somebody painted it or something. I really fucking don't know. It's kind of weird coating. It's definitely not metal. It's definitely the same kind of OEM fabric or whatever, like that paper mesh bullshit that gets all stuck and it's a pain in the ass. But I went ahead and put on my Speed Factory Racing thermal gasket. It's supposed to be reusable, which is the cool part, and keep intake temps like 30 degree or 30% cooler or some shit like that. But we'll see how it performs, if I have any leaking issues with them or whatever. I think these gaskets run like, they used to be 40 bucks. I think I bought this thing for like 40 bucks back in the day, but I think I've seen them as cheap as like $25, $30 now. So I think the price has gone down as there's more and more companies coming out with them. So I guess they're all competing for pricing. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and full send it like that and put the throttle, or sorry, the intake manifold back on. And I'll tighten up all those bolts and I'll probably end there for tonight. Well, I'm still going to get the JB Weld so I can do that. That way tomorrow I can worry about more timing and getting all the timing off that. So it's been a slow day, but there's been a lot to do. I've had a lot of distractions and stuff, like I said. But anyway, let me get this back on. And alright guys, got the covers off over here. As you can see, I didn't have the balance shaft on. Obviously I've already taken all this stuff off. I just had the balance shaft belt taken off this motor. I never got around to installing the kit, which is why I have the spare one in there. So perfect anyway. So yeah, actually I rebuilt this block about 3 years ago because I sent one through a rod through the other block, so I picked up a whole nother motor and just rebuilt the bottom end and then used my head, because like I said, this is a built head on Brian Crowder stage 2 in A cams. That one has Brian Crowder stage 2 turbo cams, so we're gonna see how those are. These performed very well for what I was using them for. Excuse me. But yeah, I have the manual tensioners in here. As you can see, yeah, it's a no-name brand. It's not KS tuned. Actually, it was made by Ruben. I've had it on there for 3 years, no issues. A lot of people talk shit about the no-name brands, you know, because you didn't support KS tuned or whatever, but at the time I didn't have $130 to spend on a manual tensioner, and this one from Ruben was honestly $60, but with the $60 he also gave me his own, which is pretty crazy, his own tension or balance shaft delete kit, which came with all the plugs and everything. So that's pretty crazy. Like I said, for literally half the price. Obviously I haven't used it, it's in there. I got my KS tune kit and his, and I really just bought it to compare the two, and they're fucking identical, like bone stock identical. The only thing is you don't get the KS tune name brand, which really doesn't matter because people don't see it, but if it performs the same, it does the same thing, it works. But as you can see on here, I got a Gates timing belt, so and it's still in really good condition. I'm gonna end up using this one. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take all this off, go ahead and loosen up the belt, and then I gotta switch over a few of the stuff like this bolt and whatnot over to the other motor. And I gotta, like this, you can take off. That's not even a necessity right here, this one. You don't need that. Obviously that's for the balance shaft. Okay guys, so I went ahead and put on my OBD1 distributor, a TD94U, which has an internal coil and the crankshaft sensor in it, so I don't have to run the one down by the block. So yeah, you can definitely tell they're Brian Crowder and all that. I contacted the guy yesterday. He said the only thing he didn't get around to was the balance shaft. The motor does have a few passes on it apparently, because I could tell the pistons were dirty from the top side. From the bottom they still look brand new, so kind of interesting on why they have a few passes on it and the motor was taken out. He said it was because it was a flood, but I thought the motor wasn't even in the car, so I don't know, those details I feel like I'm being left out, but we'll see. Hopefully it's a good motor and it has compression, all that. Everything spins over freely and whatnot and feels good. So, but yeah, I went ahead and stuck on my distributor from this one. I gotta go get some Loctite so I can go ahead and do all that, and then I also gotta get the JB weld. So I get two things from there. Alright guys, I seem to be doing everything but going to the fucking store, but I need to go now. But I went ahead and removed my transmission. Here is my competition clutch flywheel, which is 12 pound, and then here's my action clutch stage 3 6-puck unsprung clutch. So I'll see how that looks when I get it off here in a second. Besides being a little dirty, everything looks great under here. So yeah, transmission's a mess. I gotta clean that up. Probably, I think my throttle bearing's fine. Maybe I'll replace them in here for the hell of it. But yeah, gonna let this thing all the way back down. I'm gonna keep it in this position because I like that position, so I can get to the flywheel and stuff. And now I got the transmission off, so yeah, this thing's gonna go smoothly. Hopefully I can have all the timing done today, and just have to wait on the oil pan and whatnot from Ruben to weld that bung on, and the little other plugs from KS Tune to get in. But yeah guys, this is coming along nice. Finally went to the store. I had to do a few things around the house and whatnot, but I got the JB weld I needed, and I got some thread locker from Permatex, the red kind. It's high temperature, as you can see, about 450 degrees. I'm sure it gets hotter in the block. That's about its best they offer. So I'm gonna put that on the bolt. But first, before I do any of that, I need to check on my motor mount. Well, for the engine side, I went ahead and painted it with the high temp paint, sanded it all down, get all the rust off of it. Like I said, I went ahead and coated them each with a pretty good amount. Try to keep the rust off of them. Now these were ones I had that were way less rusted than what came on the motor, because I mean y'all saw what was on the motor. They were rusted to hell and back. So I went ahead and got these out of my drawer, and the extra H22 I took apart. So I'm gonna keep coating them. This is already about 3 coats. I'm probably gonna put another like 4 coats on there. Really apply it heavy, and then also the clear coat, just to make sure it don't peel or chip or nothing like that. Alright guys, as you can see, I don't think it's warped. Kind of looks like hot spots, I don't know. Feels all the same with my finger. But yeah, so pretty sure the clutch still has plenty of life in it. Like I said, it's only about a year old. So I'm just gonna full fucking send it. It does have all ARP hardware for it as well, so I gotta get my 12-point socket and get this flywheel off, which with my new impact should be nothing. But I'm probably gonna wait to get that off for a little bit. I'm probably gonna cover it up with something so it doesn't rust. I'm surprised it hasn't after sitting since January or December. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on this one. Got to do the plugs. Now I got my JB weld. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so both of them are in. I'm gonna let them set until tomorrow, which will give it plenty of time to make sure that it's at least cured enough where it doesn't leak or run when I flip it up, because like the JB weld's a little runny right now. So I'm guessing it's just because I got the thing so hot, because normally the JB weld's a little bit thicker, but like I said, that metal's super hot, so I'm leaving it up like this. So like I said, it doesn't run anywhere. I don't want it on the gasket side or anything like that. So just gonna let that do that. I'll probably go ahead and get some new gaskets just to be safe, since I'm already in here taking off the oil pump, because I'm sure they've never been done. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get my Loctite. I'm going to go ahead and put in my bolts. And I'm going to go from there. Start at least trying to assemble some of this stuff, guys. Sorry, guys. I kind of decided to go ahead and do something while I'm in here, so I went ahead and took off the camera or whatever. But I noticed it was a stock, sorry, my camera's a little dirty. I noticed it was a stock just valve seal or cam seal, and these tend to leak, although I'm pretty sure it's new. I still don't like them. The aftermarket ones are way better in my opinion. I haven't ever used a VMS one. On my other motor I have a Skunk 2 one, which I thought about using, but that one's been on there for about 2 years. Hasn't leaked, but this, I remember I had a brand new one from VMS. The thing I like about it is, instead of it being rubber and plastic where it gets all heat soaked after a while, they're aluminum, they're shinier, and there's 2 O-rings versus just basically having the one, you know what I mean? So a little bit engine bling, ain't nobody gonna see it way back there anyway. But and another thing I noticed is I took off the VTEC solenoid. It just looked dirty. The one on Hercules was a lot cleaner looking, a lot more taken care of, so it should match up real nice with that too. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one out, put this one in, put on my cam cap and whatnot back on. But I just decided to go ahead and change that out because I'm not running the stock one on here. Plus a little bit of bling goes a long way, but it's really more than a bling thing. It's really the fact that, you get 2 O-rings on this one. The Skunk 2 has 3 O-rings on it actually. Like I said, this thing's been on here for, I want to say 2 years or more now, maybe 3. A little dirty, but yeah. Like I said, they're really good. I recommend these any day over. I want to say they're like 20. They range from I think I paid 40 for that Skunk 2 one, but I think I paid like 20 bucks for this one from VMS. So I'm hoping it performs the same. It feels nice quality, pretty much. I don't like the fact that it has 2 O-rings. I like that one because it has 3. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It looks nice, so we're gonna use it. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned it up a bit in here. This is what I meant to show you last time. It's normally with aftermarket cams, they're gonna have markings on them like this, as these are Brian Crowers, you can tell. So side by side, like I said, they're the same height, plastic and rubber. Not really held up to heat well. And then you got the anodized one. Now, what I do say is this one does fit a bit better than the Skunk 2 one. The Skunk 2 one was pretty beefy to fit in there. But I'm not worried about it leaking, like I said. literally I had to use the cam cap to push it down in place. This one sits in place pretty nicely. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together. Put the cam cap right back on top. As you can see, it's still pushed up a little bit. And then obviously, so this is doing the same thing the Skunk 2.1 was, but once you run the bolts in here, tighten it down, that's sealed off. Okay, so here it is all installed. So it looks a lot better than the old one. It performs better in my opinion and in my experience, because I've had leaks there before and it's not a good thing. So there it is. It's that easy. You don't even have to take out your whole cam thing. All it is you take out all these 12s. You got the 2 10s on each end. Right after you take your valve cover off, you lift up this bar. You undo these 2 10s. You take this one off, replace it. So you don't even have to take out your cam or undo your timing belt or anything like that. You can do this with the motor in the car with the timing belt on, and you'll have no issues. So yeah, there it is. All pretty. So let me go ahead and put on my VTEC solenoid and we'll be done. Okay, cool. Another thing done. A little dress up, nothing crazy. Everything fits snug right behind the VTEC solenoid. Like I said, it gets blocked anyway, so I'm not really sure why they make them so pretty. Okay, so got all that on. Now I just need to tighten this up, obviously, once I get the belt on, and then I'll take this one out. Well, now I can, and put the red Loctite on it right before I lock it in place, because you're going to want to make sure that one's tight, as that's the only bolt that's going to be in here. This is basically what gets tension to there and gives tension to the belt. But I'm probably just going to leave it like this for now. Let all this dry and settle. So yeah, there it is. It is a legit KS2 balance shaft delete, but yes, this is an aftermarket manual tensioner. Like I said, it's been on Hercules for well over 3 years now. No issues. Probably gonna catch shit on it for not being KS tuned or whatever, blah blah blah. I don't care, guys. I really don't. This does the job. It does exactly what I need it to do. Couldn't be more happy with it. Like I said, it was made by a good buddy of mine, so no complaints, and obviously it was a fraction of the cost. So yeah, I know I'm not supporting things that support us, blah blah blah, but this was back in the day. I didn't have the money and I didn't want to run the auto tensioner, so you know what do? You do what you got to do. But yeah, so here it is. I painted that earlier. It has about 6 or 7 coats plus 2 or 3 coats of clear on it. Looks like I got dirty right here already. But yeah, this makes me feel a lot better than running the H23 crap, and then I like how much less stuff you gotta do with the not having the balance shaft. So it just makes it timing a lot cleaner and easier to look at. Alright guys, timing belt's on. As you can see, I got the timing now perfect on here. So yeah, timing belt's on. It's nice and tight. I probably have it a little too tight. Might loosen it up a bit, but for now I'm gonna leave it set. But yeah, so that nightmare is done. Got all the H23 shit off there. Everything's perfectly in time. Everything's still spinning over freely. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. There was a big part of it. I cleaned up all the rust. I got rid of all the rusted pulleys. So it's got to match the rest of this beautiful motor. This is just a valve cover I have sitting on here. This is one I did forever ago where I kept the timing off of it and had some fucking paint that's not heat resistant. So it's got a bug attacking me. What the fuck? It's literally fucking hit me. I don't know what the hell it is. Oh, it's a June bug. But yeah. So This is just something I have up here so shit don't fall into it. But I think that's about all I got to do. Ruben just finished up my oil pan, so hopefully I can go get that tomorrow or something. He lives about an hour from here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the oil pan on it. Well, tomorrow my KS2 stuff will get in, so I'll probably go pick that up after. Or I'll probably go pick it up tomorrow anyway. That way I can go ahead and do my KS2 stuff and then go ahead and put on the oil pan. Once the oil pan's on, though, this thing I think is ready to go back into the car, which will be nice. But tomorrow I'll probably, after I pick up the stuff, I'll probably focus more on the car. I got to do some shit on the inside of it and stuff, like I said, and I want to clean up the engine bay a bit. I really want to paint it, but I'm trying to get ready for the meet, so more about that shit another time. Because I already bought the AutoX ticket, so got to replace 2 studs for the exhaust, which are fine. I should have a couple extra ones laying around here somewhere. But yeah, guys. So this is pretty exciting. It's coming along. Almost there. Almost.